Hello everybody, welcome to this week's Let's Learn the Track Global Mazda Edition, brought to you by simrigs.com. We're here at the brand new Lime Rock Park. It is absolutely stunning. iRacing have done an absolutely awesome job with this, much nicer than the old one, I'm sure you'll agree. If you're brand new to this series, I'll tell you a little bit about it. Well, it's all about trying to get around the track as safely and as quickly as we possibly can. Now, I'll show you my reference points and my braking markers. We'll go around, we'll do a couple of slow laps, we'll talk about the track, we'll talk about where you can gain time, where you can lose time, and then we'll slowly pick up the pace to try and show you those braking markers and reference points in action. So we are in the Global Mazda. It's the fixed setup. I will put the weather on screen now so you know what it is. I'll be using the manual gearbox with shifter with the auto blip function on. Now with the auto blip on, you don't need the clutch to downshift. So there we go. So let's get out there. The tyres will be cold, so I'm not going to be setting any blistering lap times. If you are here for hot laps, then look elsewhere, because this isn't the place to be. This is all about talking about the track and getting around as safe as we can. Right, if you do need to pit in the Global Mazda MX5 series, then you've either had damage or you've had a penalty and you've got a stop and go. So, exiting the pits here at Lime Rock Park, it's as sketchy as it always has been. The exit of pit road here at the end of this yellow line and the blue cone is pretty much on the turn in for turn number 1. So if you are coming out of the pits, please keep an eye on your relative. We'll talk about turn number 1 as we come round next time by. But essentially we're aiming for this first apex, and we're going to be in third gear, and we're going to be in the middle of the circuit, and then we're going to be trail braking because we want the car back for this turn, and we're going to clip this curb, and then we're going to be on the gas down to this section here, which is quite tricky. It's much trickier than you would think. Now, for what I use, there's not a lot of trackside furniture here, but what I use is these tyres on the road surface. They never go away, they're there all the time. Now, I brake probably just before the end of these two here. You can see the fork there, and there's one shorter one in the middle. So I aim for those, that's where I put my car, and I brake just before the end of those, or on the end of those. We're going to be braking in a straight line in third gear. We're going to be leaving it in third, and we're going to be apexing this one quite late. So we're waiting, trail braking, just balancing the throttle if needs be, and then we want to be on this curb and we want the car right over to this left hand side. Now for this next right, we're going to be turning in and a little lift of the throttle just to get the car to rotate if needs be. Still in third gear, all the way out, using all of the curb. The car will probably want to oversteer at that point, so just balance it on the throttle. It's quite easy to control at that point. And we're going to be all the way down here for the first chicane. Now, braking marker here, we've nearly gone past it there. There's another tyre mark on the road surface there. That's what we're going to be using. So ahead of us, we've got the tree on the left hand side. There's a shadow there that the tree casts. That's a tiny bit late in the Mazda. For me, I would brake earlier than that. And there's the box on the right hand side, the blue box. Again, that's too late. So what I use is the end of this tyre mark just before the shadow, but the shadow might change. So just at the end of this tyre mark there, we're going to be braking down into third gear, down into second gear. We're going to be hard on the brake, using all this curb on the left, and then we're going to be turning in here quite late, because as soon as we turn in, we want to be on the gas. As soon as we get the car pointing up this hill, we want to be on this gas. Now, don't hit the curbs. You will cause damage to your car. So stay off those red curbs. We're going to be in second gear, then third gear up the hill. Doesn't matter if you go over these curbs, doesn't really matter. You can shorten the track as much as you want. There. Now this one, this is where you're going to get a slow down, if anywhere, around here. Now, what I use is my braking points here. We've got the cones on the right hand side, the 4 cones there, and we've got the curb where the track curves round to the right. I draw an imaginary line across the track there from that first cone on our right hand side, and that's where we're going to be braking. We don't really need to aim for the first apex here. This is a double apex right-hander. We just want to be entering it, braking hard, and then dropping deep into the corner because we want to be cutting this first one back. Now you can cut this one a little bit. No off track there, but you can't cut this next one. You can't cut the next one. You will get a slow down. And then power out, third gear, a flat out all the way down here, up into fourth gear. So this is all flat. Just taking a nice wide line through. And then up into fifth gear, onto this straight. So down to turn number 1. So our braking marker here is the number 2. That's where I brake. So we've got 4, 3, 2. So we're going to be braking about the 2. We're going to be down into fourth, then down into third gear. We're going to be aiming for the first apex. We're going to be braking hard. We're going to be trail braking all the way around here. And as you get midway around the corner, the car will push out wide. The apex will just vanish. But then keep trail braking because we want to cut it back for this second apex. And then on the curb, as I mentioned earlier on, and then power out. Car will run wide over here. Then just get the car back, looking for those tyre marks. There they are. So we're braking down in a straight line, holding it out wide, apexing late because we want the car right over to this left-hand side. And then as we go around the corner, a little lift just to get the car to rotate. And we're all the way up into fourth gear, looking for the tyre marks on the road surface, or that one tyre mark. So just at the end of there, we're braking down into third, down into second. As soon as you get to this point, we're on the gas. And then just straight line, the corner. So the cones there, imagine the imaginary line there. So we're braking down to third gear, down into second gear, dropping it down deep, cutting that one, don't cut this one, accelerating out, third gear, then fourth gear, over the start finish line. So we'll do that one more time. So we're going to be braking at the number 2 board for turn number 1. And we're going to be aiming for the first apex, but you'll see I'll trail brake all the way around and the inside curb will just vanish. So we're braking, braking, braking. There it is, it's going there. We're oversteering a bit. That's what happens on cold tyres. That's what happens on cold tyres. So end of the tyre marks there, we're braking. Let the car come back for this second apex. A little lift just before this right. Then accelerating out. Car will oversteer there, especially on cold tyres. So we'll try that again next time by. So end of the tyre mark there, down to third, into second. As soon as you get to that point, we're on the gas. Don't go over those curves because you will cause damage to your car. It will slow you down. So imagine the line going across the circuit here now. So we're braking down to third, into second. We're going to cut it back, cut that one a little bit, but don't cut this one. Whatever you do, don't go on the grass on that second left there because you will get a slow down. Right, so we'll try this again. Try not to oversteer this time. We'll try and pick up the pace slowly now. So we're braking at the number 2 board, aiming for the first apex. So it's down to fourth, down to second. Car will drift wide, but then we'll just get it back for the second apex on that curb there. And then looking for the tyre marks, there they are. Braking a straight line, cut it back for this apex. That was a bit deep there, but it's okay because it allows us to carry a little bit more speed through this section now. If you do go in too deep, then you will just get a better exit. So we're braking at the end of the tyre mark, down to third, down to the second gear. As soon as you hit that first apex, we're on the gas in second gear. So at the first cone, we're going to be braking into third, into second, cut it back for the first. There we go, we cut that one, don't cut that one. And then we're flat out all the way down. We'll try one more flying lap. See if we can get a reasonable lap in. It does take about 5 or 6 laps for these tyres to get up to temperature. So this is going on to lap number 4 now. So we're still not up to temp. So we're braking at the 2, aim for the first apex. So trail braking, just balancing on the throttle and the brake. So cut it back for that apex there. Car will run wide. Just get it back into the centre of the circuit. Brake in there. Leave it in third gear. Cut it back for this apex. A little lift just before we go round, just to help the car to rotate. this tyre mark. So we're going to be braking down into third gear, down into second gear. We'll clip that first red bobble there, I'll call it a bobble. Didn't cause any issues though, so we're braking down to third, down to second. We're going to cut it back, we're going to cut that one, don't cut this one. And then flat out into fourth gear, across the line. So what's this one? It's got a sub 107, just 107 flat. We'll go a bit quicker than that. Like I said, the tyres aren't up to temperature yet, but you get the general idea. Just bear in mind, turn number 1 and 2, I don't know if this is turn number 2, really easy for the car to run wide. So don't brake any later than the number 2 board. And trail brake all the way around. The car will want to oversteer here a lot, especially on cold tyres. So just bear that in mind. And also, we need to take this first one quite late because we want to be on the gas there all the way up the hill. And then just at the start of that right turn, braking down to second gear. You can get away with quite a bit with that one. You can cut that right hander there quite a bit, but whatever you do, don't even try and cut the second one, because you will get a 1 second slowdown. So there we go, that's Lime Rock Park. I hope it's helped. Just bear in mind, when you do leave the pits, you do need to keep an eye on your relative, because that is on the racing line going into turn number 1. There we go, let me know in the comments. As I mentioned at the start, this series is sponsored by simrigs.com, so please check out the link in the description at their website, coming soon. So yeah, have a good week, good luck, let me know how you get on. I'll see you later, cheers.